You walk through the front door after a brutal day. Before your keys have left the lock, it starts. The whimpering, the full body trembling, the tail moving so fast it's basically a blur. Your dog hasn't seen you in 8 hours, and from the way they're reacting, you'd think you'd just returned from the dead. Which raises a question that most dog owners never actually stop to ask. What is happening inside that brain right now? Because it is not what you think. It is not simple happiness. It is not instinct, at least not in the way we casually use that word. What is firing through your dog's nervous system the moment they see your face is a cascade of neurochemical events so precise, so ancient and so specific to you as an individual, that scientists have only recently begun to map it. And what they've found might permanently change the way you think about the animal sitting at your feet. Let's start with the eyes. The moment your dog sees you, their visual cortex does something it does for almost nothing else in the animal kingdom. It triggers a targeted oxytocin release. Oxytocin is the same bonding molecule that floods a mother's brain the first time she holds her newborn. In most species, it flows between members of the same species only, but research out of Azabu University in Japan revealed something that stopped the scientific community cold. Dogs and humans can trigger oxytocin release in each other through eye contact alone. Your dog looks at you. Your oxytocin rises. You look back. Their oxytocin rises. A loop forms, a biological feedback mechanism that normally exists only between a human parent and their child. Wolves don't do this. Even wolves raised from birth by humans don't activate this loop. It is a feature that belongs exclusively to the domestic dog, and it is running every single time your dog finds your face in a room. But eye contact is only the opening signal. What comes next is a full sensory integration event, and your dog's brain is extraordinarily well equipped for it. The olfactory bulb, the region of the brain dedicated to processing smell, takes up roughly 40 times more neural real estate in dogs than in humans, proportionally. When you walk in the door, your dog isn't just seeing you. They are reading a chemical autobiography written on your skin, stress hormones from your morning meeting, the lunch you ate, the specific bacterial signature of your body that is as unique as a fingerprint. Your dog doesn't just recognize you. They read you, and the prefrontal regions of their brain are cross-referencing that scent signature against every emotional state they've ever associated with your presence. This is where the science gets uncomfortable to absorb, because researchers at Emory University, using fMRI technology to scan dogs' brains while they were awake and unrestrained, found something that reshapes everything. When dogs were shown images of human faces versus dog faces, the face-selective regions of their temporal cortex activated most strongly for their owners. Not dogs, not strangers. Not food. You, specifically. Your face has carved a dedicated neural pathway into your dog's brain that no other stimulus occupies in quite the same way. The neuroscientist Gregory Burns, who led that research, described it as evidence that dogs have developed a cognitive architecture that centers on the human face as its primary social anchor. That's not a pet being sweet? That is 15,000 years of evolution building a brain around you, and 15,000 years is where this story actually begins. Before cities, before written language, before agriculture. In a period when Homo sapiens was still hunting megafauna with sharpened stones, the ancestors of every dog alive today were making a decision, not consciously, but genetically, to orient their entire existence around human beings. That process left marks that are still visible in modern dog DNA. On chromosome 6, researchers found a cluster of genetic insertions directly linked to extreme hypersociability, the kind of social compulsion that makes your dog physically unable to be indifferent to your presence. Wolves don't carry these insertions. The domestication of the dog wasn't just behavioral training. It was a rewrite of the genome, a biological redirection of an entire species toward needing human connection the way you need oxygen. So when your dog stares at you, which they do, constantly in ways that can feel almost unnerving, they are not being clingy. They are doing the thing their DNA has been built over millennia to do. They are checking in with their primary source of safety, information, and emotional regulation. Studies from Eötvös-Loránd University in Budapest demonstrated that dogs use their owners as what psychologists call a secure base. the same concept used to describe how a toddler uses a parent. When something new or frightening appears, dogs don't investigate independently. They look at their owner first. They wait for a signal. They read the human's face for information about whether to approach or retreat. Your expression is their environmental guide. Your emotional state is literally their map of the world, which brings us to something that goes beyond bonding into genuine co-regulation. Research measuring heart rate variability, a marker of nervous system coherence, has shown that when a dog and their bonded owner spend time together, their physiological rhythms begin to synchronize. Their breathing patterns, their cortisol levels, their stress response curves. Not because one is mimicking the other, but because the nervous system of a deeply bonded dog has calibrated itself to yours over years of proximity. This is why petting a dog for as little as 10 minutes produces measurable drops in cortisol in both species simultaneously. You are not just calming each other. You are operating as a single interlocked biological system, which is something that for most of human history we dismissed as sentimentality. But here is what that means in practice. If your dog suddenly changes the way they look at you, if the intensity fades, if they track your face less, if the reunion greeting loses its electricity, that is not a dog growing bored. That is a signal. In dogs over 8 years old, canine cognitive dysfunction affects roughly 35% of the population, and its earliest symptoms are almost always social. The reduction of gaze, the confusion in familiar spaces, the dimming of that precise face recognition that your dog has spent their entire life refining. It can happen gradually enough that owners miss it until it's advanced. If the light in your dog's eyes when they see you begins to flicker, the conversation to have is with a vet, not with yourself about whether you're imagining things. You're probably not. Come back to the front door for a moment. Your keys are in the lock. The trembling has started. You haven't even opened it yet, and your dog's brain is already running its recognition sequence, your footstep pattern, the sound signature of your specific car, the scent that's begun to seep under the door. By the time you step inside, the oxytocin loop is primed. The olfactory analysis is underway. The face-selective neurons are preparing to fire. And what they're about to confirm is the thing that, 14,000 years ago, changed the trajectory of 2 species forever. That you are their person. Not a person. Their person. The one face their brain was quietly, relentlessly built to find. That's what's happening inside your dog's brain when it sees you. Tell me in the comments, how does your dog react when you come home? Because I want to know if what's coming next changes how you see that moment. Because the way dogs use their owner's eyes, not just to recognize them, but to actually navigate their emotional reality, goes even deeper than what we just covered. And it might be the most remarkable thing about them.